Monsignor?
Going well. Kind of glad for the Thanksgiving holiday. It really Thanksgiving is my favorite civil holiday.
Is it?
Yes, because it's a time to gather with family, and I don't have to go shopping for gifts.
Oh, yeah.
You got to go shopping for food.
Food, yeah.
And
But do you do that? Do you do that?
I've done it in the past. My mom, when I got my license, my mom would send me shopping to get stuff. And like 2 or 3 hours later, I'd come back and she'd want to know where was I.
Yeah.
Well, I met a lot of people
Oh.
in the supermarket.
Shopping.
And so that was one way I got out of that job.
Yeah, if you want to not do something, do it poorly, right?
No, I
That's
did it
what-
very well. I picked everything up that was needed and nothing went to waste.
Okay.
You know, I mean,
Mhm.
it wasn't like anything was ruined.
Okay.
It's just that you see this one, and you see this one, and they were all asking about my mom, so I had to give a full report.
Oh, sure.
I mean, ask a Sirianni for anything.
You're going to get a full report.
You get the full story, including chapters.
So to that end,
Yes.
tomorrow, no 7 o'clock mass. We
There's
do have our regular 9 o'clock Thanksgiving mass.
Yes.
And then the office will be closed tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday.
We have no 7 o'clock mass on Friday.
Right.
Just the 9 o'clock. And Sunday begins Advent.
Yes, but one more thing, that the office is closing early today so that we can,
Oh, we are?
you said so. So that we can get our shopping and cooking done. Those of us who have to do it ourselves.
Well, I'm gonna do something tomorrow.
What are you doing?
I have to put some turkey parts into the oven.
Oh, okay.
Where, my family happens to like dark meat.
Mm.
So we always add extra thighs, extra legs, and wings.
I like the dark meat too.
Yeah.
Benjamin and I usually fight over it. Okay, so, and then yes, Sunday starts Advent
And Sunday begins Advent.
and our new liturgical
And
year.
the new liturgical year cycle
A.
A. Okay. I knew that.
But that's
And-
really good because that makes RCIA, the scrutiny is very easy.
Yes, and this year we're going to have the scrutiny.
Yes, we are.
Although some people
Oh,
will be
right,
with
I'm
us
not
for
gonna
the
be here.
scrutiny. You know, as many of you might have heard, Jen's husband, Pastor Jonathan, has received, well, I should say, accepted a call to pastor a parish in Massachusetts. And so our pastoral associate, as well as the pastor of First Baptist here in Freehold, will be leaving us February. And so, as sad as that is, because we will really miss Jen a great deal, but we'll also miss her husband, because he's really a very fine man and a wonderful addition to the Clergy Association. But they will go on to new adventures, a new parish, new town, and we will continue. But you won't be here for the scrutiny.
No, I won't, and that breaks my heart among many, many other things.
Yeah.
But also, we are going to be posting the position.
We will be posting the
in the next
position
couple of weeks.
For a pastoral associate, and so if you know anybody who's been in church work and, you know,
They have to be a little quirky. Have a good sense of humor and entertain, keep Frank amused. That is the first
No.
thing on the job
Francis.
description. But, yeah.
But this, you know, so this is gonna be a major transition for us. But it's going to be a transition that we wish Jen and Jonathan much luck. We'll keep them in our prayers, and I'm sure they'll come back to visit us.
Definitely, yes.
It's not like they're going to the end of the earth.
No, just the end of Cape Cod.
Yeah, to the end of Cape Cod. Okay. Yeah, it almost sounds like, you know, when the Maryknoll missionaries had a mission in Hawaii.
Ooh.
You know, now, I'm sure it was a mission where they were taking care of the poorest of
Oh,
the
yeah,
poor,
sure.
but still it was Hawaii.
Yeah, sure, yeah,
You're going to the Cape.
yeah, it's a nice place.
I mean, it's gonna be this little Hallmark movie, I'm sure.
Eileen says so.
I know, but anyway, so, but.
Cycle A.
Cycle A, getting back on track. Cycle A, and we also have some liturgical additions to the liturgy. Probably the two main ones are we are reinstituting the bringing up of the gifts, bread and wine, at the offertory, and the other is returning or allowing the option to receive on the tongue. And it's so important that those who choose that option to receive on the tongue know that we ask them to wait until the end of the processional to come up and to come up to the priest.
Don't go to a regular Eucharistic minister.
No, because they're still very uncomfortable. We are a little more experienced if you follow directions. And the direction is stick out the tongue. And please don't tell me that people do, stick out their tongue, because they don't. They really don't.
I know, I have been licked and bitten and.
And, to the parishioner who said, because I told him, I had, teeth dig into my thumb. And, she was horrified. Oh, that can't happen. Well, Catholics, let's get out of our, fairy tale. They do happen. People don't open their mouths properly. And I received my first Holy Communion under the old form where you had to receive on the tongue. And I remember the sisters, and they were the sisters, the Franciscan Sisters of the Atonement.
Oh,
they
sound like fun people.
They staffed the school and religious ed at St. Mary's in Deal, but then they came over to St. Michael's in West End, and I made my first Holy Communion in St. Michael's in West End. And they taught us, you stick out your tongue all the way. And I ask people cooperate with this, because if you don't, you're going to hear me say, stick out your tongue. And then the body of Christ. I've already done that several times, so please don't push me. But anyway, but those are the two really big things that will begin this Sunday. So it will take some adjustment. The bread and wine will be the only gifts brought up. We will not be bringing up the collection.
Which we have not done since I've been here.
Yes, but when I first arrived.
I know.
14 years ago.
14 years
I'm
ago.
beginning my 14th year on December 1st.
Wow.
14 years ago, the collection was brought up as part of the offertory.
Now, one other thing is, if you would like to bring up the gifts, please see an usher before Mass. Try to be here 10 minutes early so that they can, because they're going to start picking people around 10 minutes before Mass begins. And especially if you have a Mass being said for a loved one, that's a great time to bring up the gifts. So see the ushers ahead of time and let them know that you would like to do that.
And if we have two families, because we do have two intentions, and sometimes both families are there, then one family will bring up the bread, one family will bring up the wine. So we can work that out. But that begins, and of course, during Advent, we pray for the coming of Jesus. We prepare for the coming of Jesus. The first coming, of course, is his second coming. We look forward to the second coming of Jesus. We're not afraid of Jesus coming, and we're not looking forward for people to be disappearing or the rapture. We don't believe in the rapture, and we just will be working, building up the kingdom, so when Jesus comes, he finds us busy and not sitting around looking up
to the sky. To that end, the last few weeks, the lectionary has been really kind of driving us that way. And I love how the lectionary builds up to that end of the year and that looking for the second coming. We had, was it last week or the week before? It was, in the second reading, that the busybodies who are paying attention to everything,
Yes.
be quiet and eat your own food. And then it was like, look busy the week before that. And you know, it's just like every week has been preparing us for that. Pay attention, you know, mind your own business, do what you're supposed to be doing
Well,
as we prepare for the end.
one of my favorite stories has one of the bishops in one of the congregations in Rome looking out the window at St. Peter's, and all of a sudden he sees a figure walking right through St. Peter's Square towards the basilica. And of course he gets the cardinal, who is the head of the dicastery, who looks out, and sure enough, it's Jesus. He's walking right towards St. Peter. So they call the Pope, and the Pope looks out, and again, he's getting closer and closer. And with that, the Pope turned to everybody and said, look busy, look busy. We are to be busy about being disciples of Christ, not sitting scared, not sitting worried. You know, yes, things are scary, and you know, as human beings, we will have some fear, but we need to place our trust in Jesus, that by, you know, patient endurance, we will come through this, and we will see Christ. So, I'm kind of excited. I love Advent.
Me too.
You know.
And I love the readings leading up to Advent.
Yes. So, and of course, hopefully you already got your Advent wreath out. You know, so many houses are already decorated for Christmas.
I saw that, yeah.
You know, which is fine, because in fact I was just talking about this with a parishioner. You know, I think the gloom of the pandemic back in 2020 just got everybody decorating like as early as possible, to put up their lights, to put up their trees, so there'd be something
Some cheer.
joyful and
Yeah.
you know and merry.
Yeah.
You know, although merry, we Americans got to get away from this Merry Christmas and everything. Merry meant you drank a little too much. Just ask anybody from Ireland and England, and they'll tell you, merry meant. In fact, you know what I like, and I never realized this, but in one of the in all the interpretations of Scrooge, you know, the day after Christmas,
Mhm.
when Bob comes in, and he comes in late,
Mhm.
and you know, Scrooge is yelling at him, and he says, "I was a little too merry yesterday." So that meant to drink. Now I know a lot of people do drink at the holidays, and there's nothing wrong with that, with moderation. But you know, let's be more joyful at Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas is the title. In fact,
It is.
that's the Italian title. It's Buon Natale. Happy Christmas. In
Mhm.
England, it's Happy Christmas.
Mhm.
We made it a political punt here by saying, "Oh my God, we can't wish anybody a Merry Christmas." Well, I really, to tell you the truth, I started wishing everybody a blessed Christmas, because that's the true meaning of Christmas.
Mhm. So we're gonna get our Advent wreaths out. We're gonna get the one in the church.
Yes.
The big one.
A real big one.
Is our families going to be lighting it, or is it just gonna be clergy?
I think we're just gonna.
Okay. And then, and you know, if you don't have an Advent wreath at home, they're very easy to make. You just get some greens, put them in a circle, 3 purple and 1 pink rose candle.
Well-
Since I'm leaving, I'll say rose.
No,
What, are you gonna
really,
say pink?
in most sets, it's more of a pink than a rose.
Oh my gosh.
I know.
I can't believe we're having this conversation. I'm ready to concede and call it rose, and you're saying it's pink.
Well, do you think I'm gonna end being, you know, obstinate just because you're
Yes.
leaving?
Just like I am.
Please.
But anyway, 3 purples and 1 pink, and there's going to be an Advent wreath blessing in the bulletin for you to do at home. What else?
And
Oh, we got the Christmas Carol Festival is coming up.
yes, the Christmas Carol Festival will be the Friday after Thanksgiving. It will be both live streamed as well as
In person.
in person, and we're hoping some people will come out.
I think they will. People are starting to come, although there is an uptick in COVID and the flu.
Yes, we just got.
So be careful, wash your hands,
We
wear a
just
mask
got
if you're sick.
notice from the hospital that their caseload of COVID positive patients is on the increase. And so that entails us to take certain precautions when we go into the hospital.
Yes, and also Santa is coming in December 18th, I think,
Is
if
that
that's
Coffee Inn?
on our Coffee Inn.
Yes, Coffee Inn.
I think it's December 18th.
And
Yes.
so
We've got a lot going on. We got the blessing of the Bambino and
and we'll also have the Eastern European wafer bread.
the Oplaki.
Oh, yeah, I can't pronounce that word. It's interesting, I can't pronounce that word or your new last name. It's, yeah, there are too many letters in there that I don't know the sounds to.
Well, that's why when I wrote the announcement for the book, for the pulpit, I didn't put my last name in there.
I know, it was just Jen. So, but,
There's a lot to look forward to.
There is a lot to look forward to. There is also a lot to celebrate and be thankful for. And especially tomorrow when we gather for our Thanksgiving meals, let us really gather with grateful hearts and not necessarily be down upon what we don't have, but be grateful for what we do have. And one of the things I'm very grateful for is the amount of food that came in, for our food baskets. We were able to make 129 food baskets. And it's so important that, people realize that our food baskets go to, both people in our parish who are in need, as well as people outside the parish.
Mm-hmm.
And then tomorrow we will continue our tradition of delivering a meal to those who really don't have family to gather with. Although I was told that one facility, the people wait for the meals and then they sit down and have their meals together.
Oh, that's good.
So,
Nice.
and so these are things to be grateful for. And another thing that I'm very grateful for is the gift and ministry of Jen. Her presence here has been a blessing. Her addition to the ministerial staff has helped us grow as a parish. So we send her with our blessing, although I did post myself jumping off a cliff.
It was a bridge, but yeah.
It was a bridge. It was a bridge. And but we are grateful. I'm grateful, and I do wish you and your husband well.
Thank you, Nancy.
Okay. Anything else?
I was just gonna make one quick connection between Thanksgiving and Eucharist, just
Go
real
right
fast.
ahead.
The word Eucharist means Thanksgiving, and when we gather for Mass, that's what we're doing. We're praising God and offering our thanks to God for all the things that we have. So when you gather with your families tomorrow, for me it's Saturday, this weekend, whenever you're gonna see your family, just remember that, that, as Monsignor said, we have to be grateful for what we have, but also to remember the wonderful gift that Christ has given us in the Eucharist, offering himself to us so that we can have that food for the journey. And there's just such a, wonderful connection between the food of Eucharist and the food of Thanksgiving, and how, we are family.
I always go back to what I think it was Father Joseph Lupa. He was a Trinitarian who would come to my home parish in Longbridge, Holy Trinity, and give like a 3-day triduum.
Oh.
A 3-day triduum. And he always said that there are 2 altars in a Catholic family.
Mm-hmm.
And one, of course, is the altar of God, which is where we offer Christ. The other is the altar of the dining room table for families.
Yes.
And unless the family gathers around the dining room table at home, it's going to be very difficult for them to understand gathering around the altar of Christ.
Right.
And so, as you gather, know you'll be in our prayers, and we'll see you on Sunday.
See you on Sunday.
God bless.